Watching Rogers TV.
This is a company bringing a number of jobs and a couple $1 billion worth of building into our community. But happy to have them here. It's another one that's been going on for a little while, certainly negotiations and us trying to fill some more land out in Yarmouth Yards. But really happy to have more people picking St. Thomas as the place to bring their generational change to our job structure here in St. Thomas and region. I mean, we're becoming kind of the center of the universe, our region at least, the center of the universe on things like EV or even the special minerals and what would be needed for EVs, but in the case, they can be used for other products too. So the more we can attract to this area of Southern Ontario and share with our region on growth and the technology that comes with it, the better off we all are. I think we're really looking at production sometime in 2028 and hiring happening before it. I know they already have some people in town starting to work on the plans to do that as quickly as possible.
I think the future of CAMI, along with all of the other automotive production plants in southwestern Ontario, are up in the air. There's a lot of uncertainty regarding the tariffs, and I think the car companies are waiting to see what the outcome is of the trade negotiations. Ultimately, what has to happen is that General Motors executives need to allocate a product to the plant. And once they do that, then the company will make an investment, probably with the support of the federal and provincial government, to retool the plant, which could take several months and maybe even as long as a couple of years. So until that decision is made in terms of product allocation, then right now the future of the plant is up in the air. The CAMI plant was started in 1989. It was an investment originally with Suzuki. So it's a relatively new plant, and I'm sure that General Motors does not want to walk away from its investment in the Ingersoll facility. So from that perspective, I think there's some hope. But there is still, as I said earlier, hesitancy on the part of all the major car companies, including General Motors, to allocate product to Canada until they understand what's going on in terms of trade negotiations.
Through our roadmap to wellness, we are investing $3.8 billion over 10 years to fill gaps in mental health and addiction care, create new services, and expand programs. Between 2020 and 2023, we have established a provincial network of 22 youth wellness hubs that are currently operating or in development. And building on that success, thank you. And building on that success, we are adding 10 new youth wellness hubs across the province. By continuing to expand the network of youth wellness hubs, we are strengthening Ontario's mental health and addiction system and making it easier for youth to get convenient, integrated care in a safe and welcoming space that meet their needs.
There's not even an official application that's been started for a boundary adjustment. The first step is getting Oxford County's support. Norfolk Mall is right on the border of Oxford County and Norfolk, but at Norfolk Mall, the water and wastewater is Tillsonburg's. And the owners had some issues with loitering, and because it's Norfolk, the police come from Simcoe. So anytime that they were calling to get assistance, it was, pretty much gone and over by the time the police had arrived. So the business owners support a boundary change. And then Tillsonburg needs more commercial property as well. So I would say most people are just excited there's a winter's coming. They don't care if it's in Oxford County or Norfolk. That being said, I think most people are just excited to have more shopping for this area.
And it's specifically one area. We call it the Center Road Corridor, so many locals will know it as 81 Highway, right? So it's a servicing agreement for that area, the Center Road, but also we take in two smaller areas that were kind of outside of the agreement. What it allows people to do, and there's still certain conditions, right, who can hook up. It allows people to apply, to hook up for water and wastewater under the conditions that are in place. It's an interim agreement for 1 year. It allows us to talk about a larger agreement, but also begins the path of putting aside some of the legal discussions we've had. Right? Both communities have been accruing large legal fees. It seems ridiculous to me and others to continue that. Rightly so. We went through a court battle, and there are lawsuits on both sides, right? So while we're sitting in our corner arguing, we're just spending taxpayer dollars. That needs to stop. We need to sit down and talk. And I would suggest that the water and the wastewater discussions are just a vehicle to something bigger. There's a lot of potential for industrial growth. Even when we get to the final agreement, that's still a step in the process. We want to have discussions about regional growth, about regional opportunities, because I've said this since day one, I really do believe that this area, we're the next area to boom, and we have to get ourselves ready for that.
Yes, it was part of our Parks and Recreation Master Plan in 2019. There was a recommendation made by the consulting company to extend the playing time for the premier field at Athletic Park. And as part of the 2025 capital project budget, it was approved to put the overhead lighting here to extend the playtime to about 11 p.m. throughout the spring, summer, and fall. And as the city grows in population, these extended playing time fields are going to be required more and more throughout the city. So this is the first step in increasing that time for soccer. We're looking into other extending the play time for other fields, other soccer fields, baseball fields around the city in the future. The St. Thomas Soccer Club made a significant donation to this project to make it happen, along with Integris and the duration covered by the city of St. Thomas. We get a lot of compliments of the field quality in this park, and as you can see, one of our staff members he was just out here aerating, and that kind of maintenance, annual maintenance, along with fertilizing and overseeding, goes a long way in keeping these fields premier. And we get a lot of compliments from users throughout the year, both from residents and people who visit. And adding irrigation, adding these lights is just another feature that this park will have for years to come.
The station and the BIA have been working very diligently on trying to bring a more vibrant downtown core and kind of incorporate a lot more artistic elements. That's this kind of stuff that drives visitors and tourism to our downtown core.
I think it's really impactful to have it here. To quote our executive director at the BIA, there's no sense of place without arts and culture. So to have some public art in the downtown core is really important to us and the residents of Tillsonburg. It was also a community project to fund it. So it wasn't just the BIA, it wasn't just Station Arts. There was downtown Tillsonburg. There was also the library. We worked with the county. It was definitely a community project from start to finish.
The people that painted tiles, they were all ages, all range of skill. So it was really a way for you to become part of something in a more permanent part of Tillsonburg. It's really important, I think, for us as whole communities, and that's why it's really important with our BIAs and our different kinds of organizations that we work with to celebrate and to work together to bring these things to fruition. The community needs to have these kinds of things to showcase its history, its culture, its uniqueness, and its creativity. It's going to showcase and be a present for, the history of that time, the culture of these people, the identities and the uniqueness of each of them. And I think that's important, and that's why art's important for communities in particular.
Want to share news from your area? We'd love to hear from you. Email us with your community updates and be part of the conversation.